Hello everybody and welcome to the Sheff United way. And I've just got back from Bramall Lane from our 3-1 defeat against Derby, and you know what, I wasn't having a bad Saturday. You know, there's a new Pokemon game out, been loving that. One of my favourite bands, 𝗞𝗶𝗴, just released a new album. I've had it on, songs in my head, think it's a banger. Really enjoying myself. Then I arrived at Bramall Lane and everything went wrong, didn't it? And yeah, this video is going to be a player ratings video where we go through everybody who played for United, particularly the starting 11, and give them a rating 1 to 10 to see how they go. I'll be honest, I can be a little bit harsh with player ratings. I generally I'm somebody who likes to see, you know, what positively was brought to the game and what negatively was impacting the game. If you didn't bring anything to the game at all, you'll probably sit around a 4 or a 5, and that will probably depend on the result. If you brought nothing to the game and United lost, you'll get a 4. If you brought nothing to the game but United won, you'll probably get a 5, because I'm an inconsistent guy like that. But if I'm being honest, today I am in a bad mood as a result of that performance, because it was horrendous. I cannot believe how bad United were in terms of, like, they just made us suffer through 90 minutes of a pathetic, insipid, a performance where none of those players showed me that they care or understand what it means to play for Sheffield United. We gift-wrapped all 3 goals for our opposition. They basically came, knocked on the door, and we just handed them 3 goals as a packet of sweets like it was Halloween. And we just, going forwards, I honestly don't know how we ever expect to score a goal. I don't know what we're trying to do. I don't know how we're trying to do it. I don't know which players we're relying on. Anyway, player ratings. So let's go through our team and see how they all got on in this one. If we start with in goal, Michael Cooper, I'm giving him a 3. He's conceded 3 goals today. I'd be shocked if you told me they had more than 4 shots on target. I'd certainly be shocked if you told me he made a good save. And that does kind of bring me into another question of, when did he last make a save? I was looking at the goals against stats, the goals prevented stats. He's bottom of the league right now. He's the worst goalkeeper statistically in the Championship in terms of his shot stopping. His distribution has been really poor. Even when we've got the opportunity for a quick break, he kicks it just straight up in the air, which takes all of the sting out of any potential counter-attack. Last season, he was clipping balls out to the fullbacks. He's not doing that anymore. If he tries it, it goes out. The entire defence looks like an absolute bomb scare, but I wonder how much of that is to do just the fact that they don't have any confidence in Cooper in behind him, because he's having a really, really poor season. It's gone under the radar to an extent so far, but another game where he's just not making any saves to try and keep United in games when we're not playing particularly well. Across the back 4, Tanganga, I've also gone for a 3 because, quite frankly, he's just not a right back. He feels like he's constantly stuck in no man's land positionally. That transition where sometimes when we've got the ball, he tucks in and covers right centre-back. Sometimes he's out there on the wing covering right back. Sometimes he pushes forward. Sometimes he stays deep. He doesn't seem to know what he's supposed to do when United have or haven't got the ball. He's a really good player. He proved this at Millwall when he was one of the best centre-backs in the Championship. But why are we just abandoning him out there at right back, a position that he is just consistently not able to play this season? Their big number 7, I think he was called 𝗣𝗲𝗻, just bullied him all day long. He was dominating him physically. He was winning the aerial battles. I thought one-on-one, he was getting past him, and we were having to sort of double up or cover that. I think they got a lot of joy coming down that right-hand side, and so much of that is because Tanganga positionally just really doesn't seem to understand what he's supposed to be doing right now. Next to them, the centre-halves, McGuinness, I'm going a 2. And I hate to say it, because he has moments where I like him. He has games where I think, oh, there's a player there. But he just, every long ball that comes forward, I thought this would be his bread and butter. You put a long ball towards a 6'5" centre-half. It's easy. Head it away, crack on with your lives. But for some reason, he doesn't do that. He doesn't have any idea how to handle the long balls coming in behind him. As soon as a winger or a striker runs towards him with the ball in the air, he seems to panic. And so often he ends up turning like a bus. He got away with one against Preston when it was an obvious handball for a penalty that the ref didn't give, and I'm not sure why. He did it twice today where he was turning. He's allowed their man to get the ball first. It's his ball. It's there on his head, and he's letting them get in behind him. He's letting them get the ball. He's letting them get all of that possession on the edge of our box. I think it's really poor in terms of the way that he's trying to deal with this, and I think so much of our problems come from them being able to exert pressure by getting the ball down his channel and finding those spaces, beating it against him. I think it was a poor game from him today, and I'd really expect to see better. Well, if I'm being entirely honest, I wasn't at my best today. I don't think I played particularly well. I didn't finish the 𝗍𝗫𝗲 𝗕 song in the second half. That's disappointing. I was pretty negative, as you can tell from my attitude here today. I've let my frustration show when the passes weren't coming together, and it just wasn't my best performance. I should do better. Oh, sorry, misread my notes. 𝗣𝗿𝗲𝗏. 𝗣𝗿𝗏, I'm going to go for a 4. I don't know. Just let me have this one and we'll crack on. On the ball, I thought he was potentially the pick of the bunch in terms of the defenders. He tried progressive passes. He wanted to try and get us forward. He felt as though, particularly towards the end of the second half, he was somebody who was trying to take a little bit of responsibility. He's too slow on the ball, but he does want to try and drive us forward. He wants to try and pick those passes out to the wingers, to the fullbacks, to try and get us moving forwards. I think defensively, he's not physical enough. I think he's really struggling to handle that kind of physicality that comes from Carlton Morris. But I really felt as though the threat against us today came down the right-hand side. I thought that's where they got their luck. It's certainly where the goals came from. And so I don't think he's the answer, but I don't think he's the problem. I didn't think he was the problem today. So I've gone for a 4. Similarly, next to him, I've gone McCallum, also a 4. And as I said at the start, I'm going to describe that as par for today. I think McCallum felt similar to me in that he wasn't directly at fault for any goals. He also didn't make any huge glaring mistakes, but he was part of a team performance that was rubbish, if we're being just brutally frank, and I'm not willing to be generous and go higher than a 4 for somebody who's not really positively affected the game. He's just lucky that he wasn't the one who negatively impacted it. So I'm going to go for a 4. And you can tell me if I'm being harsh in the comments. Central midfield, and you may definitely start to think I'm being harsh now, but I've given a 2 to 𝗍𝗫𝗏. I mean, look, that pass, I can't get over it. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what he's even trying to do. It is pathetic. It's schoolboy. No, it's not. That's insulting to schoolboys. It's just rubbish. I can't understand the mindset of the start of the second half. You get the ball in the centre. You've got a 5-yard pass to play to your centre-half. You spend most of your life paying 5-yard passes to your other centre-half. It's simple. It's straightforward. Why in this moment he decided he was just going to whack it through to Carlton Morris for easy running on goal. I don't think I've ever seen 𝗍𝗫𝗏 play a through ball for a United striker, and yet he couldn't have played it any better for Carlton Morris here. It's really, really bad. I can't believe how wrong he got that. I thought beyond that, he's not contributing anything positively in terms of trying to drive us forward, get us off the field. He's not a destructive midfielder who's winning tackles and winning the ball back. He's not a driving midfielder who beats his man and drives us forward. Doesn't find incisive passes in behind to try and break the lines. Not sure what he's contributing at this moment in time because he's part of a midfield that is just dysfunctional. One thing I will say in that, positives. Stop ranting. Stop just there. He takes a good corner. I thought his corners were actually quite effective. He took one free kick as well in the first half that I thought was a lovely ball in, and it was a really nice delivery. The header in the box, I mean, we've had the most corners in the league. We're never going to score from one. But I just think his deliveries were so much better. So in terms of corners, I liked it. That's something to hang us hat on. Wider performance, let's move on. Next to him, 𝗍𝗫𝗲, and Maybe I'm watching this with tinted glasses on, who knows. I've given a 5 to 𝗍𝗫𝗲 because I thought he actually had some positive intent behind him. I thought in the first half, I saw him win tackles, get the ball at his feet, and run forwards. He put his head down and he went past a couple of players. He then tried to find a pass. Usually his pass was rubbish. Let's not, we know what we're talking about and it's a rubbish performance. But he had something about him. There were at least 2, 3, 4 times I saw him get the ball and try to take Sheffield United forwards. He didn't turn around and pass it to me. He didn't turn around and then turn around and then turn around like some of them do. He actually wanted to get United up the pitch, and that's something. It's dynamism. It's a bit different to what we do otherwise. Clearly, second half, it wasn't working. I can understand that he tires and he's not ready to contribute to a full 90 minutes for United. But I thought there was something there and he wasn't static like everybody else whenever we had the ball. So I've gone for a 5. Yeah. 𝗍𝗫𝗏, I've gone a 4 because I think he had one good cross at the end of the first half and did very little else. I think this could be generous. I think there's an argument that maybe I should have gone 3 because all of the danger comes down the right-hand side. He wasn't following the wing-back as he was going in. It meant that Tanganga was often 2-on-1 with Agyemang and the wing-back pushing forward. The more I talk about it, I'm talking myself into a 3 because he didn't offer anything going forwards. He's not beating his man, getting crosses in. He's not getting to the byline and pulling it back. He's not creating anything for us going forwards. At his best, maybe he's functional, but today he was barely that, just completely ineffective, wasn't helping out his fullback. I've gone 4 in terms of what I've locked in, but yeah, as you can tell, I wasn't impressed. Brooks on the other wing, I mean, my notes on this are simple. Is he good enough? Not really. Did he get down the wing and beat his man to create any chances? No. Did he cut inside effectively and create any chances? No. He did run about a bit though, which is something. Yeah. Okay. It's not been a good day, has it? But there is one man who does stand out. There is by far Sheffield United's man of the match. The only player who actually can come out of this with his head held high, that is Callum O'Hare. He's constantly showing for the ball. If you watch him, if you just took everything else out and just watch Callum O'Hare, he's trying to take responsibility to take Sheffield United forwards and to get us out of the mess we've found ourselves in. He shows for the ball whenever he gets the opportunity, and he wants to be positive with the way he uses it. Sometimes he's not strong enough. Sometimes he's not fast enough. At the end of the first half, when the ball is bobbling towards the centre of their box and he's running in on it, their lad makes an unbelievable tackle. But if he's faster, they don't have the chance to make that tackle. He could take that away from them if he just had a little bit more of that speed, that physicality, but he doesn't. He can't build that now in his career. But I do think that what he does have is leadership. What he does have is an ability on the ball with quick feet and dribbling. He can create a chance. And actually, the last few weeks, he can score a goal. He is contributing. Last season, I said he runs around, works really hard. I really like him, but he has no end product. This season, he runs around, he works hard, and he has an end product. That is just good to see. I'm really happy with how he's playing. He is our only bright spark in terms of the season so far. If the season ends today, he wins our player of the season by 1,000,000 miles in terms of what he's contributed and how he is the only person who actually tries to take us forward. That brings us to the striker, Tyrese Campbell, who I've gone for a 3. He has no service and he's completely isolated and he doesn't have anybody around him who's really giving him the opportunity to be his best self. However, there were moments where he can do more to try and get himself involved in this game. He had one good pass in behind and he ran straight into the defender. There was a moment for him and he ran straight into the defender. The only clear-cut chance he got in the game, 𝗤𝗏𝗍 did really well, got a cross in, he's got a free header in the middle of the box, he heads it over the bar. That's a good opportunity. That is something he could do. There was also a couple of moments in the second half where we managed to, for the only times in the game, we got down the right wing and we whipped 2 quite nice crosses across the face of goal. One was from Tanganga. Forget the other one. It was probably O'Hare because it was something good. And so we got these balls in, but there's nobody attacking that ball. Nobody's throwing themselves at it. Nobody's gambling that there's going to be a ball come across the face of goal that they can maybe score from. And for me, that's got to be Campbell's role. It's not even just that, though, because it was the 90th minute, and for some reason I've remembered this almost word for word, which is bizarre. But I turned to my dad in the 90th minute. We'd whipped 2, 3, 4 crosses into the box. We'd had the ball bobble around a little bit. And every single time, the ball fell to a who did we even play? Ball fell to a Derby defender. They just feel like a Luton team. And the question I asked my dad was, how do their centre-halves always have space? They've always got space and time in the centre of their own box. They were never under pressure to panic and clear it wrong. They always had a good 3-feet circle around their centre-halves where they could head it if they wanted to. They could kick it away. They were unchallenged. They weren't under pressure. Surely that's Campbell's role, is to make sure they don't have that in the middle of their own box in the 90th minute when we're losing. I could have defended against it today. That's the damning thing about this. I could have defended against that. There we go. So that's the 1 to 11. I did agree with Nick originally that we'd only do subs by exception, but I think we get to do it today. I think we've got an exceptional circumstance. And of course the exceptional circumstance is Alex Matos. I mean, can I give a 0? A 1? What was he doing? I mean, yeah. In the moment, when I saw it in the moment, I couldn't understand what happened. I mean, he's running back towards his own goal. There's somebody behind him. You assume he's had a push in the back. He's gone down. It's a foul. The referee gives that as a foul to the defending team week in, week out, time after time after time. They just do. It's always a foul. So I was originally a bit annoyed. Why is that a penalty? What is he doing? What's he even thinking about? I've seen it back, and there is some contact in Matos's back. He falls on top of the ball and grabs it, and then he sort of gets it to Cooper. And you can't do it. in the middle of your own box. You got this under control. It was so under control that he's just shepherding it back to Cooper. All he's got to do, even if he falls down, just don't put your hands on the ball in the middle of your own box. Don't give the ref a choice. Like, I would have expected a free kick, but you just can't do it. And I'm willing to blame the ref for that until the fact that 5 minutes later, so in his own box, he's had somebody in his back, he's gone down, he's picked up the ball, the ref's given a penalty. 5 minutes later, we're on the attack. He's got the ball on the edge of the opposition's box. Somebody comes up behind him. He goes down. He picks up the ball. Same again. Exactly the same thing. Falls on the floor, grabs the ball immediately. Ref gives a free kick to them for handball. He's done it twice. I can't understand the logic or the thought process to do it the first time, which is stupid enough and basically kills the game for us, but to then do it again, it's idiotic on a level that you can't fathom. It's so frustrating. I just can't believe that a professional footballer would do that. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. But, and there is a really big but here, it's not all his fault. And that's going to transition us into talking about the manager. Because today I'm giving Wilder a 3. And some people might think I'm generous, some people might think I'm unbelievably harsh. But let's start with the 𝗲𝗏𝗶𝗹𝗹 point and continue that here. Because why, for all that we know about football, why would we put on? So we watched for 65 minutes. We watched Japhet Tanganga, our 6'2", big centre-half, who we know is physically good, strong, dominant. We watched him get bullied by their big right winger. He's 6 foot plus, he's massive, he's towering over Tanganga, and he's beating him physically time after time. Why did we watch that and go, I've cracked this, I've got an idea. Get 5'2" Alex Matos to go and mark him. This'll be perfect. There's no way this could possibly go wrong. And within 5 minutes of us making that decision, the game is dead. Absolutely dead. And I can't understand why we thought that was a choice we should make. I can't understand the subs. They take so long to get them on the pitch. This performance had been rubbish for a long time. We were really poor in the first half. We then give them a goal right at the start of the second. And it still takes another 20 minutes before we're making substitutions, before we're doing anything to try and change the game, to try and get more out of this team. And the sub we make is that one, which effectively ended the game immediately. And where is 𝗲𝗏𝗶𝗹𝗹? What has he done? Has he upset somebody? Is he injured? I don't understand where he's gone. Similarly, where's Ben Godfrey? I know he's not been very good. I can't believe I've just found myself asking that question, but he's an actual right back. Somebody who can play as a right back, not a central midfielder being shifted out of position. And yes, this isn't all Wilder's fault. That's not, the squad building's not on him. He wasn't here. Ruben Sellés and the board took a fantastic squad, completely destroyed it, chucked it in the bin, and gave us the dumpster fire that we've got right now. But surely you can utilise it. You get the most out of the players available to you. Look at other teams in this division who have got much worse squads than us. Hell, look at Derby. Man for man, there's not many that United fans would be sat there telling me walk into our first team. And yet they've absolutely done a job on us today. And this is the bigger point. Because they came to Bramall Lane and they knew how to beat United. They knew how to crowd us in midfield and cause us problems. They identified the problems in our defence, such as the fact that the long ball over the top gets McGuinness in trouble, such as the fact that if you can pull this big lad out onto Tanganga, he's not comfortable playing on that white ring wall, so you can double it up with the wing back to make sure that you've got 2 going down there and really make it awkward for him. They knew that from set pieces, we're going to go zonal, and so you can exploit that system to make sure that there's an opportunity there. They score a lot of goals from set pieces. I think it's almost 50% of their goals so far this season have come from set pieces, and they made a game plan to hurt us. Surely we knew going in that they were going to be good on set pieces. Why have we decided to go zonal for this game? Why have we got 3 6-foot-plus players on the edge of our 6-yard box with none of them marking their striker, none of them going and heading the ball? What was the plan in terms of how we were going to defend against corners, against their way of coming forward? Similarly, what was our plan to try and get back into the game? How were we ever going to score a goal? In the first half, I can't remember any patterns of play that said to me, oh yeah, this is how United are going to hurt Derby. We didn't try and exploit any of their weaknesses. I don't even know if they've got any still now, half an hour after kickoff, because I have no idea. We didn't find any. How are we going to mask ours? How are we going to cover that central midfield to make sure that we're not going to get played through really easily? How are we going to sort of make sure that our winger covers in with Tanganga, because we know he's difficult in that position? We didn't have any plans to make ourselves look better or to hurt theirs. And we've got to do better than that. We've got to be able to get more than the sum of our parts, the way that Derby did, the way that other teams in this division do, and the way that we just seem completely incapable of. We are worse. We are much better on paper than we are on grass. And that is really concerning. And the manager has to do something about that. I've been impressed so far. He's done a decent job since he's come in the fact that we've started winning games. We look a more confident, more comfortable team. But it's not enough. And we need to go further. And we can't just wait for January and hang our hats on that. We've got to get more from the players currently in the building. And that today was arguably the worst performance we've had at Bramall Lane this season. It was really poor. And we need better than that. Anyway, I clearly didn't enjoy myself at Bramall Lane today. And so I'll bring this video to a close and I'll finish it with some final thoughts. Look, if United play like that again, and we play like that consistently, we will be relegated. That performance on the pitch today gets relegated 10 times out of 10 because it's not good enough. They aren't world beaters. They aren't the team who's going to win the championship this season. They're a decent side. Eustace is a very good manager. They will do a job on lots of different teams, but we have to be able to be better than that if we want to be not just staying up, but actually trying to get away from a relegation battle. There are no two ways about the fact that we right now are just in the thick of it. Except for Callum O'Hare, I think all of those players should take a long, hard look at themselves for what they put out today. I think they've let us down time and time again this season, and it's time for them to take responsibility for that. Ruben Sellers and the board have blood on their hands. Nobody's denying it. Nobody's running away from it. But they're not the only people who are responsible for this. Those players have to go out there, pull on the big boy pants, and show us that they know what it means to play for and represent Sheffield United. And if they don't know that, then get them gone immediately, and we'll try somebody else. Because right now, they are just disappointing us. There's no more spaces for excuses. We are now in a relegation battle in a season that should have been a battle for promotion. These players don't have any battle in them. That's the real problem, is that we call this a relegation dogfight or a battle. We don't have fight and we don't have battle. We've got to learn it. We've got to find it. We've got to get it from somewhere, and we've got to get it fast, because this is a long season that is far from over. But right now, we have got to be better than this, because it's a joke, to be honest. I can't believe what we're seeing week in, week out. But alas, I get to make a long trip to Coventry on Tuesday night. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait. I'll see you all there. And hopefully, maybe we'll get a response. You know, Coventry's had their first defeat of the season. Maybe that gives us something to go at. We've got to find some positivity from somewhere. So let's say, yeah, let's go and beat Coventry. Oh, the Blades. Olé, olé, olé.